Good morning, family. Good morning. Good morning. If you are watching this later, then share with seven. If you don't know seven, then share with someone who you think may need this conversation. And also, if you're watching this later, give me about a minute or so, and we're going to wait for a couple of individuals to tune in before we get started. But right now, the name of this live is what we're going to talk about is start showing up. Be patient. You might be like, that's it. Well, I ain't got time for that. Just be patient. Because it has everything to do with how we are showing up in life. So that's what we're going to talk about. But as we wait, I want to tell you that God put greatness inside of you. Whatever it is that you're supposed to be doing, it looks different from what you may assume. Only He know what that is, and only He know what that looks like. So if you would allow Him into your life and allow Him to orchestrate His plan in and through your life, you'll begin to experience the greatness that you were created with. You are greatness. I need you to start embracing that. Start seeing yourself as that. But don't wait for you to start seeing your greatness before you start showing up as you ought to. Good morning, family. Look, so check this out. How y'all doing? I hope all is well. So the name of this conversation that we're going to have is start showing up. And I'm gonna shoot it like this. There are some individuals, I'm not gonna generally speak and be like you know if it's you or not. There are some of you individuals, you show up to work on some average stuff. You show up to work on some average stuff. Sometimes we look at, I only work at Walmart, so who cares? I work at a restaurant, wait tables, who cares? Or I'm just a forklift operator, who cares? And because of that, that's what your performance look like. Average. You show up to work on some average stuff and you producing average, and you are not average by no means. But what you're producing is average. You're producing much less of who you are. Like, you are greatness. You are better. Like, what you are, what you possess, what you were born with is not average. But you producing that at your job. You producing that in your personal life. It's crazy because some of us, we have this entitled spirit, like we deserve this and we deserve that. And yes, we deserve this and we deserve that, but what we producing is less than average. So based on what we producing, we don't deserve it because we're not putting in what we are to put in, therefore we should receive what we are putting in. So if you know that you deserve better, why are you showing up on average? Why are you showing up just giving bare minimum? The company that I work for, they say honest days work for honest days pay, right? Now, I know what they mean, and there are a great number of individuals who work there know what that means, but some of those individuals use that to do the bare minimum. They quote that and use that as an excuse or justification for them not executing at a high level. But they are the main ones when a company give $1.80 raise, they're complaining, oh, they could have gave us $2. Give a $1,500 bonus on Thanksgiving, oh, they could have gave us $2,000. Entitled, they didn't have to give us anything. But these are the same ones showing up to work on average, giving average, complaining about everything. Attitude sucks. Attendance, work ethic. Like, I need y'all to start showing up. That's just from a workplace standpoint. And where I show up to work, I show up. Like, my goal is to be the best at what I do before and after I'm gone. My goal is to always set the standard high. So if you're going to come get it, you're going to bleed for it. You're going to sweat for it. But I don't have that same dog when it comes down to my home. I must admit, I feel like I'm average when it comes down to my home. How can I execute at such a high level at work, but then too, I don't always execute on a consistent basis at a high level? In my marriage, as a father, as a child of God. How's that possible? So when I say you need to start showing up, we need to start showing up. We're not average. Why are we settling for being average? We have to start showing up. And listen to me. Our show up cannot be anticipated by a reward or benefit, because we may not get it ever. And if we do get it, it may be down the road. So if we're doing it based on what I'm going to get out of the deal, it's counterfeit. It's not real. And that's a character issue. So you mean to tell me you're going to show up and go all in, but only if you get this in return? It's no wonder why a lot of us not showing up, because we're not getting what we feel like we deserve. And honestly, we won't ever get what we feel like or what we know we deserve, because what we are investing, we're investing so little, but we expect so much in return. Isn't that backwards? So how many of us in here? I see it's only one here. I'm cool with that. feel like you need to show up. Look at the different areas in your life and ask yourself, do I need to show up differently in this area? Do I need to start showing up? Who cares about our presence if our presence isn't adding any value? If our presence isn't making a difference, who cares? For as I'm concerned, we just there taking up space. Who need to show up different? Who need to show up different? We have to be okay with showing up and going all in, whether we get something out the deal or not, because that reflects who we are as a person. That reflects who we are as a person. Our show up shouldn't be based on anything transactional. It should be based on, because I know my name is on it, because I know I have a responsibility, and I'm going to go all in. Feel right if I give a half effort, or I know I could have went harder, but I just didn't. And I'm okay with just doing bare minimum. That should make us feel away. It should make us feel away. Really. Whatever we touch, whatever we do, we should always do it to a level where when we step back and look at it, we are good with knowing that we gave it our all. That we gave our best. So that looks like us elevating our standards. Not based on what someone else expects of us. Not based on being acknowledged and rewarded for it. Because this is who I am. If I'm going to do it, it has to be high level. It has to be quality in the work that I produce. Because if not, I don't feel right. But what everybody else is on is because I don't feel right. And me producing has nothing to do with anyone else. It has everything to do with me. And because I set that standard for myself, then I'm getting the gratification out of it. And by my work, not only does my king get the glory for it because I'm his, I come in his name, but everyone else will benefit from the work that I produce. But it's us taking pride in what we do, not who we do. I mean, that too. We should take pride in what we do, not who we are. Because when we take pride in who we are, then that's a very thin line of becoming prideful, arrogant, making it about us, thinking more of ourselves than we ought to, from a biblical contextual standpoint. But when we take pride in what we do, that's us making sure if my name is on it, if my hand touches it, you can expect high level. You can expect it to look a certain way. So much so, if just say you had a bad day or an off day, you wasn't really feeling well, and what you produce is much lower than what you normally do, and someone asks like, what is this, who did this, and they say you did it, that person should be like, nah, I know it wasn't him, I know it wasn't her, I know the type of work he do, I know what she do, I know this not his, this not hers. That's what that should look like, because you take pride in what you do, and if you do it, it have to be right, but it also have to exceed whatever expectations someone else, whatever that standard is because I take pride in what I do. Or if you didn't do that and they were like, oh, he did that, he didn't do that, I know he didn't do that. That's the same thing I tell my 8-year-old. Like, take pride in what you do. Like, write your name. Like, your handwriting should be better. Well, I don't tell them that now, but it's not what you do, it's how you do it. You want your work to look neat. You want it to look a certain way. So when you step back and look at it, you be like, yeah, okay, yeah, that's what's up. But it's every single day you showing up in whatever area of your life, taking pride in what you do. If you did it, if your name is on it, you want it to look a certain way. You want the presentation to be a certain way. And that's what showing up is all about. That's what showing up different is all about. Because we are set apart, we are to show up and go all in. Period. We're not doing it just to get it done. Or we're not doing it just to say, well, at least it got done. And a lot of us are on that. When it come down to the workplace, like, I take pride in what I do. But I don't have that same motive. It's like when I go to work, I don't have to consciously think about anything. It's just I just turn into something different when I go to work. But I don't have that same thing as a husband and as a father. So when I'm encouraging you to show up different, to start showing up, this is for me, myself, as well. Because what good does it do with it being just in one area? What's wrong with the other areas? Then we have to ask ourselves, why are we actually doing it? Are we wanting to be seen? Are we wanting to be accepted by certain individuals? Are we doing it for a reward? To be acknowledged? Because that's why we're going in. But when it comes down to home, we don't get that same. So because we don't get that same, we don't go in and produce like we supposed to. We don't show up at home like we're supposed to, because we're not looking to be accepted by them. We're not looking to be approved by them, embraced and validated by them. Oh, that's just my family. Like, what is the reason why we show up and why we don't show up? That's just giving a scenario. But how we show up, it has everything to do with who we are as a person. It has everything to do with our character, integrity. It has everything to do with who we are. Even if I pride myself on going in at work, setting standards high, but I'm not doing it at home where it really matters, that's a character issue. We need to find out what's up with that. And maybe some of you go all in at home, But when you go to work, you barely showing up. Some of you do better off not showing up because you just taking up space because you go there with a stank attitude, poor understanding, work ethics up, attendance bad. Like, what are you showing up for? You're not showing up. You just come up in that joint dragging, complaining about everything, over there talking when you should be working. I did all of that years back. So that's how I know what that looks like. That's a character issue. We need to start showing up, not just in one area of our life. We need to start showing up in every area of our life. It may take some time, but we need to get started today. And we have to make sure that our show up has nothing to do with the reward and award, acknowledgement, accolade, accepted, validation. It can't be that, it's not transactional. Because then at that point, it's counterfeit. It's not real. It's a character issue. If we can go hard in one area of our life, we can go hard in other areas of our lives as well. Period. Question is, why aren't we going hard in other areas of our life? We need to figure that out. Make some necessary adjustments and go all in. And be okay with the simple fact of just only me being okay with knowing that I went in, I gave it my all. Award come from it, acknowledgement come from it. Oh, that's what's up, come from it, cool, that's what's up. But we okay with not having that, because that's not what we're doing it for. Period. Moonlight, how you doing? Good morning. Alex B, how you doing? You still here, my brother? My bad, I'm just now acknowledging your comment. Forgive me. Yes. Pride can. So that's why I said take pride in what you do, not who you are. Because when we take pride in what we do, it's like I refuse for it to look like trash, look like mess. It has to look a certain way. It has to be a certain way. It has to be right. So that means I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna go above and beyond to make sure that it's quality that I'm producing. So we have to take pride in what we do, because it's holding self accountable to a standard in which we must always uphold in what we produce, in what we do. But don't take pride in who you are. Don't take pride in who you are. Oh yes, I mean, yeah. So So now that's kind of different. So when it comes down to us setting goals, having goals, and we are showing up every single day to achieve and accomplish that goal, yes, of course, for sure. All right, that's how we continue to make progress in life. The goals, long-term goals, are like the destinations. The short-term goals are like the checkpoints. So when we set out to when we set out to improve from a personal standpoint, lifestyle, whatever it is, we set goals. Like, and based on those goals, like, we have to have a plan how we're going to achieve those goals, right? So short-term goals leads to long-term goals. So as we are achieving our short-term goals, like, then that's us. Oh yeah, goals are also our guidelines as well to achieve the greater goal, right? So we achieve a couple of short-term goals. So like, look at it as school, like college or something like that. Like, you're going to get your bachelor's degree, right? You don't just go and take one test and boom, you had a bachelor's degree. No, you take different, like, you do different papers and take different tests and stuff like that. You pass that, cool. That's an accomplishment. That's a short-term goal, like, to get to the long-term goal, which is the bachelor's degree. So yeah, so that's totally different from what I'm speaking to when it comes down to accomplishments and achievements. Like, that's something that we are intentional about, and how we do what we're doing specifically, because we are set out to achieve this. Then there are things that we must do specifically to achieve that goal, to accomplish that goal, right? But what I'm talking about is showing up every single day, taking pride in what we do, making sure that we're showing up, giving our best, trying our best, producing our best. And that's just what it is. That has nothing to do with, sure, you might have a goal in mind. Maybe you want to get a raise. Maybe you looking to be promoted. Maybe you looking for opportunities. So yeah, like, you have to produce at a high level, right? Okay, is it all about that, right? Because what happens when you achieve that? You get the raise, you get that promotion, you get the opportunity, which was the reason why you was going hard like that. So now that you got it, what, you gonna kick your feet up now? Or you gonna keep mashing the gas, going all in? What is your reason for going all in? What are you hoping to get out the deal? Appreciate that, Moonlight. So when you show up, what are you looking to get out the deal? And I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, years back, when years back before I started to see my life differently and wanting more for myself in my life, I was going to work on average, super average. My work ethic reflected that. My performance reflected that. But when I started to set personal life goals, that started to change. I have a reason for why I'm showing up. And it has nothing to do with the job acknowledging me. It's because I realize I've been showing up in my life on average. So that's why I've been getting average results. Because I wasn't after nothing in life. But again, when I started to see myself differently, my life differently, I started to believe that I deserved much more. Then I started to set goals and I started to show up to work different. I started to show up to work different. So it's safe to say that a lot of people show up to work on average because they're not after anything. They're not going for or shooting for nothing. The mindset is different. When you going for something, when you out to accomplishing, basically just ultimately better yourself, better your life. You show up, the mindset is different. But when you can care less, when you look at, oh, I just bag groceries, or this Walmart, who cares? Like, that's a character issue. The guest, how you doing, my man? You still ain't been to sleep. My man be getting it in. Like, that's a character issue. And I get it. Who cares about character these days, right? Who cares about character these days, right? Who cares about morals and values these days, right? Like, and there's a great number of individuals show up to work and pride themselves on showing up to work, not doing a whole lot. And they'll tell you, like, man, forget all that. I ain't trying to do all that. Tell you that. And take pride in knowing that you ain't finna make me do more than what I want to do. Take pride in that. Average. So then we have to look at it like, what are the standards that we set for ourselves? Hey, you're true. Oh man. You said you still haven't got a chance to hit the pull-ups yet. Oh, that's hilarious. Hey, you better get going because you talking about 500. You know what I mean? You better get going. You ain't talking about like no 5 sets of 10 or 10 sets of 10. Like, you talking about 500. You know what I mean? Hey, you think about that milestone, 500. That's a grip. You know what I mean? That's a grip. That is a grip. I'm like, you talking about 500. You've been doing this for a minute. You conditioned for this. But, so check it out though. Even if you're kidding, right? Even if you're kidding about shooting for the 500, you know, like right now, that might be impossible. But at some point, I'll get there. If I don't get there, I'm going to get close to it. Your show up is different. Based on your goal, just say you didn't have no goal, whatever the reason why you're doing it. What if you ain't have a goal? Like, you ain't gonna show up to be on that. Like, the mindset will be different. But because you like, I'm gonna shoot for it. I'm gonna get my papa on. You know what I mean? My man, forearms like on swole. But no, like, I'm sure for you to go in like you do, like, you have a goal for why you doing it. Like, you have a reason for why you doing it. Whatever the goal is, you have a reason for why you are doing what you're doing. So your show up is different. So when you talk about life, though, it explains why when we go to work, you see people on a whole lot of average. They don't have a reason to show up. They don't have a reason for why they show up. So that's why their performance look like that. And my goal is, my mission in the workplace is to help you tap into something greater of yourself. You feel me? But the conversation to spark that, which was for me, is like, what do you want in life? I've been serious, bro. Dang. Bruh. That you the man. Hey, you the man. I'm good on that. I'm good. Man, I can't tell you the last time I did a pull up. I can't tell you the last time I did a pull up, but no, but 600 push-ups is possible. But yeah, it takes a minute. So look, check this out. So what I would do though, I can't do it like I do it over the course of time. So I can't do it now because my injury. But like where I work at, I hook sets. I don't know if you ever seen like the two trailers connected together. So what I would do is, whenever I had the hook sets, they're like send me the hooks, basically the trailer numbers to hook over, while I'm out on the yard. So every time I hook a set, I hit 10 push-ups. Every time I hook a set, I do 10 push-ups, right? So that's how I was able to keep up with doing at least 100 push-ups a night, and that was over the course of what, 4 or 5 hours, right? But I stop at that 100. I stop at that 100, and that was it. So it's no wonder why. It's no wonder why when I come back from my run, I would go on a dock if they didn't have anything else. It's no wonder why I wasn't doing 100 push-ups a night anymore. I started to see the results, and it was convenient. But now it's not as convenient. We ain't really doing it like that no more. I started to see the results. So oftentimes whenever we attach a reward, or when we attach something from it, like that's external, then it's so easy to quit. It's so easy to reach that and then, okay, I'm good now. When it's like, you know what, I want to develop this discipline, internal. I wanna I wanna develop this certain mindset, internal. So even when we get that reward, or even when we accomplish that, like, we doing it for much greater, for much more. It's easy for us to become that. But when it's to be accepted by someone else, when it's to be highlighted or to be rewarded for it, it's no wonder why we don't stay committed to it. And it has everything, it have every reason why our show up look the way it does on both sides of the spectrum. And last night or earlier, when I don't know, about 12 o'clock, when you said it was like 118, I don't know why I seen 500 pull-ups. I don't know how or where I seen pull-ups, but as I looked in there, I seen you said push-ups. That's why I was like, bro, you getting your papa on. You talking about some 500 pull-ups. I'm like, sheesh, you gotta be conditioned for that. But you say push-ups, so, like, I mean, that's a beast though. You know what I mean? Like, what you do, probably like 500-600 a night. They laughed at me and said I couldn't do it with just body weight. Yep, for sure. My bad, bro. Yep, yep. No pain, no gain, no burn, no earn. No doubt. Hey, that's a good fitness slogan, or I don't even want to say. See, when it come down to slogans and phrases and stuff like that, I don't even like to coin it as that, when it's just who you are. When it's a lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? If this how you get down, you know what I mean? Like, it's more than just a phrase. It's more than just a slogan. Like, this is what I live by. You know what I mean? So yeah. Yep. So yeah, but not like, we have to start showing up. Like, our show up can't be transactional, which based on what I'm going to get out the deal pertaining to anything external. You said you think it deleted your comment. What comment? But look, now check, now that's just for me. Like, I realize, like, to each his own, right? So maybe your show up, as in whoever, maybe your show up, like, your motivation have to be that external reward for you to show up different, right? And when you get that, it's like that's just proof, or that's evidence of of that you have, that you can do it, and it just only fuels your fire to go further and also to go harder. I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at that. If that what if that's what helped you show up different, like to start showing up, then I ain't mad at that. My point is, though, we have to stop showing up on average in any area of our life. Again, like I said, don't look at where you work at as, man, I just work at whatever that location is, and based on how you view the company or view your managers, the owner or whatever, like that's like you showing up according to that, like nah, that's weak. I ain't calling you weak if you do that. I'm just saying like that's weak. Like we have to like be like, nah, like I'm gonna go hard. I don't know how to do anything else but to go hard. We can't be okay with just barely getting the work done. Well, at least I did it. Like, no, we can't be on that. We can't be on that. We can't be on that. Because again, that's a character issue. And like, we have to like want more for ourselves, even if it's just producing on a higher level. We have to, because like, we have to. Teachers and everyone laughed at me. Of course. What is your channel? What is your channel? Faith over fear? Oh yeah, duh. Never mind me. Never mind me. I'm gonna check you out though. I'm gonna check you out. So yeah, so basically, this morning conversation was an encouragement and a call for each and every one of us to start showing up in every area of our life. As I said before, if we can go hard in one area, we can go hard in all the other areas. Now, the what we produce in each area may be different, but if we can go hard in one area, we can go hard in all the other areas. If it's a struggle to, if we go hard in one area or a couple areas and it's hard to go, it's difficult or challenging to go hard in another area, we have to ask ourselves, why is it so simple for us to go hard in this area but not that area? Figure out why, make the necessary adjustments, and work at it, improve at it until you get it. Wow. Man, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. Just reading, I do it because, bro, everyone really left me except God. So with that, with just that part right there, it's like I don't want to be vague and say energy. I don't want to be vague and say mindset. I don't want to, it's like that's like a different, that's like a, what's the word? How can I describe that? It's like that's a different type of pain. And like it's like a different type of pain that you experienced, that you came from, that it it's like, obviously there are certain levels of pain, and there's certain things that causes the different type of pains, but it's like from that, the pain that was produced from that, it's like it created something like that's not like normal, if you will. And I can't even find, that's not even how I want to describe it. It's like on a deeper level. So it's like learning learning this part of you is different. It's different. I'm trying to describe it. I'm trying to describe it because I'm going back from our first encounter, right? Um, it was like I said then, it was different. And then now that you're sharing more, you're sharing the personal side. It's like, and then even before you share the personal side, like, I still got to do 500 push-ups though. You know what I mean? Like from earlier and now, and then you revealing more. It's like it's making sense, but it's a different type of, it's a different type of thing though. It's a different type of thing though. So it's no wonder why it's like when you can tell when someone been through something. It's like it's like your spirit. It's not the energy. It's not the mindset. Although you have that, it's your spirit. And the spirit is the depth of us. So it's like that's what I've been feeling from you from the beginning. Yes, the Holy Spirit for sure. You know what I mean? Like for sure. And it's your spirit, bruh. It's your spirit. And yes, this is what God has done inside of you. And it's like we can I don't want to say attribute it to the pain, but it's like what I felt when you like everybody like really like literally like left me but except God. So it's no wonder why your vertical is like based on what I'm sensing, right? It's because what happened horizontally is like that pain. It's like I can't imagine that state. I don't know what state you were in, but you had to be in a spot for you to highlight that, and what it done as what was produced as a result of it's your spirit that I'm feeling. And it, yeah, okay, yeah, yeah, okay, okay, for sure. I wouldn't doubt when you just type what you type. And the sad thing is, that's one of those statements where your eyes start to burn, your nose start to do something different, because it's like you near tears. That's one of those statements. And I know that's real. You're not just talking, you're not just throwing it out there trying to be whatever, right? Like, that's from the heart. And that's from a place of understanding his love, experiencing his love, appreciating and being grateful for him, not what he do or give or anything. Like, that's a personal thing. That right there is different. Like, just based on that from a spiritual standpoint and understanding, like, I give him very little, that be that spark that makes us to start showing up for him on another level. And it's like we just have to understand that we can't we can't just give little. We can't just show up just on some I'm hurt, you know what I mean? Like, we have to, like, really, we have to do better. Out of everything that I said from the time I left my job to where I am now, home, that is the point. We have to start doing better. And it will show up in how we show up. I'm an animal when it come down to being on that clock. I'm a gazelle at times when it come down to my home. Once I take that same from what I do there, here, that's why, as we was talking about last night or whatever, about um, being a preacher, it don't, I don't expect to be the perfect husband. I don't expect to be the perfect father, right? But when you know you can do better. So when it comes down to whatever that next look like for is like being a preacher, it don't sit right with me because I know that where my goal isn't perfection, I need to grow and become the perfect husband and father that God has created me to be. That doesn't mean flawless. That doesn't mean without mistake, without fail at times. That doesn't mean any of that. But when I know that in my home, I don't have better days than I have bad days, meaning that I could have did more. I could have been more. I could have been more patient. I could have handled that better. I could have. I could have. I could have. And I'm and I have like those thoughts or conversations like that more than when I look back on how my day was. Yeah, yeah, I could. That's how it's supposed to be. I didn't do it all perfect, but I did everything that I was supposed to. I was I made my wife feel special. I didn't I wasn't impatient with her to a point where it frustrated her because I'm showing that, like, right, my son, like, I didn't give him the patience that he needed today or the time or whatever. Like, when when it's not like that on a when it's not how it should be on a more consistent basis, and some days here and there I might slip or whatever, that's a different conversation. But when it's the opposite, that is a problem. But on that clock, I'm an animal. They my they deserve more out of me, from me, than anything or anyone else. Period. And of course, we're not talking about the man, you know what I mean? But he get the glory for whatever area I show up in, especially when it come there. Because in my house, we will serve. But if I'm not being the example, how's it? If I'm not creating that atmosphere, that environment, how can you get what I'm saying? So that's my thing about uh, that's my thing about the whole preacher thing, taking to the next level, whatever that looks like. That's my thing. But I thank God though, because He have not allowed me to go further. He has always kept me where He needed me, because there are areas of my life that wasn't right. I refuse to be a hypocrite and act like and I know I can't do that. I can't do that. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So again, like I said, we all have to do better. And if we could go hard in one area, we can go hard in every area. But then we have to ask ourselves, how's it so easy, and why is it so easy for me to go hard in this area where people see, and we don't go hard in these areas where people don't see? That's where it matters at, because now we have to question who we are as a person. Is this who I am based on my show up killing the game, or I really want to be accepted? I really want to be validated. I really want to be acknowledged by other people, where, well, I already have my family and whatever, like, what is that reason why we don't go hard in every area? Because again, if we can do it in one area, we can do it in all areas. But why aren't we? What's the reason for it? Figure that thing out, and then we make those necessary adjustments. It's a process, but again, it's possible. Period. um, um, man, I'm dumbfounded by that statement that you made. It's so many things that I want to say, but my wife have told me, I made some adjustments. I made some major adjustments with this. She was like, if I come sharing something with you, like, you don't have to make it about you, and you don't have to make it about you, and my thing be with that is like what we're talking about. What I've said here is I give example of my personal, so you'll know that, like, I know, like, I can relate. You know what I'm saying? And this is how God has helped me with it. And she said, like it don't be time for that. She like, I might just be one event. I'm not asking for advice. I'm not asking for encouragement. I'm not asking for your comment. Ooh, that cut. But she made statements to that, not to that effect or in detail like that before. I'm like, how am I making it about me? That's how I always felt. But when she said that in that cut, I understood. So when I just read yours, I'm having these thoughts. I know what I wanted to say, but I'm like, my brother, like, he just sharing. You know what I mean? Like, so is so yeah. So but yeah, I was like totally dumbfounded. Like when I read that, like, it's like I felt that pain. I felt that pain. Excuse me. Um, Trent Shelton. I don't know if you ever heard of him. Um, I don't want to limit him to like to just being a speaker or whatever, but he's out of here in Texas, Fort Worth. But when he encouraged, I heard him say before. Last time I checked, broken crayons still color. Broken crayons still color. And the other thought that I had was broken. I thought about pieces, and you can still be put back together. He's working on you. Um, and from my personal experience, as I'm sure yours as well, is that's when we are most vulnerable, or that's when we should be most vulnerable to Him in our brokenness. It's almost as if for for us to experience Him on a deeper level, we need to be broken so He can begin to build us back up. But in Him, we had to be broken, so all those the little remnants and the things that we need to be broken of, stripped from, that's necessary. So now we're most vulnerable because we're not well put together. Think about it. Think about the process. When something is well put together, you gotta break it, and then, right? But if we're already broken, that skips a process. I mean, nothing is too difficult for Him, of course. So it's nothing with Him either way. But when we're well put together, we're 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 much less willing to embrace being broken, being cut, because we good. I mean, I'm good. But when we're broken, though, we're in a search to find. We are more willing to embrace, right? So even in that state, it's just being grateful, because I feel that if I can assume from my personal experience, you're probably experiencing him like never before. You're probably experiencing him like never before because of the broken state that you feel that you may be in, if that makes sense. Yep. Yep. And it don't feel good. It's very uncomfortable. But again, we experience him on a deeper level personally when we're in that state. So now when he built us up in him, it's easier for us to remain. Now, it's not impossible for us not to stray again, but it's easier for us to remain. Talk to me. And as you're typing, I want to make sure before when you change your name from the guest, um, before Faith Over Fear, um, the channel, the name that you had was Joseph the I don't remember, or no, Jason, or was it Jason? Right? I've been I've been distant from God, and all of a sudden, when I'm scrolling through YouTube, I'm like, what happened next? I'm curious now. Okay, yeah, because I was about to ask you, is that your real name? But yeah, what happened? All of a sudden, like, what's next? It's like a marketing thing, like tell you all this good stuff, and then boom, click to find out the rest. I had a vision of Jesus. Oh wow. I'm still with you, maybe. Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. For real, really though. How? And that be my thing. That be my thing. Like when you have individuals walking away from, I'm not even gonna say walking away from the faith, but obviously that's what that is too. But on a more on a larger scale, like how can you walk away from God if you truly know Him, if you truly experienced Him, unless it was about you the whole time, Him being there when you need and Him giving whenever you need. Like if you truly know Him. So when we're having these conversations on live and people come in saying all these different things, I'm like, I mean, it make me think about when Jesus, um, when He said, um, my mind went blank totally. Um, I forgot what I was gonna say, but it's like, how can you walk away from someone that you know, like, like personally? So it's no wonder why people walk away from Him because I don't feel like it's I don't feel like it's genuine. It's real. Or 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 they don't know God. It's the same thing because they not really in the word like that. And it's not to judge them. It's just it's we learn about this in the word like from different stories that have happened and experiencing Him personally. So then when we're able to make that connection, okay, I get it. And certain scriptures let us know, and some of those scriptures are His promises for when we are going through it. And again, same thing, like because of what pastors are doing these days, and or I ain't gonna say these days, always happen, but like, that and worried about what they're doing with the money, like that's not your concern. Like if we're supposed to tithe or whatever, then he or she have to answer. You're being obedient. Like, but it's like because of what they're doing, it's like that's the excuse for walking away. And it sucks though, because we should be better representatives um of Jesus, right? But we also have we also have to understand that that pastor is still man. He needs Jesus just like you do. So why have we put him or her on such a pedestal to where now subconsciously they're perfect? We revere them so much because they are anointed or they studied, they know the word well, that we are willing to walk away from a perfect God that have done nothing but show us perfect love because of what another human did, clearly you don't know the God in the Bible. Clearly. And it sucks though because those individuals probably never come back to the faith. It just sucks. Yep, 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 yep. It's like when we experience him personally, and I always speak to the struggle because that's when I've experienced him the most, gotten closer to him like more than ever in a struggle. So I speak a lot to that. And I think it's very important because we can't escape the struggles of life. And because we can't escape the struggles of life, like we have to I feel we have to be transparent and obviously to a certain degree or whatever, but we have to be transparent to let the individuals who may not have that spiritual understanding as to why the struggles, to let them know like it's just part of the process. And I hate that that sounds so vague, but it's true. And but when you experience him like in such a way, like you know him, you walk with him even imperfectly, because it's not perfect. It's like I don't want to do no wrong. You know what I mean? Like, and the crazy part about it is if we're not intentional, just every day going to work and doing what we have to do, we can get so distracted, and it's almost like we lose everything that we had. It don't even have to be due to sin, but it's like we lose that fellowship, that and it's so hard to get that back. It's almost like he be like, you're gonna have to work for this one. You know what I mean? You're gonna have to work to get that back. And that's fair. That may not even be his intention, but it's fair though. You know what I'm saying? Like, because we have to know what it feels like to have him, to experience him. And then if we allow ourselves to stray away in any way, we have to know what it feels like to be without him. Although we know he's there and he's with us, we have to know what it feels like not to experience him like we once did for a period. So we'll be more intentional and protective about how we are being so careless with our time, because he don't deserve that. Hey, hey, it happens. It happens. But it's pretty cool because it's pretty cool though, because man, we already know who it belongs to. We already know who the glory belongs to, like, and it's just, and that's why the when I speak about like the kingdom family community, that it's crazy because I think it was either the end of last year or earlier this year. I was like, I just felt the need to. I was just like, I spoke it. I'm like, I just wanna start a community in this season of my life to where we, like, all of us who are struggling with life, we come together and just help each other through, because this really helps. It sucks going through it alone. So when I say that, it means a great deal to me, because like going through the struggles alone, like it's tough, right? And then that's like probably like a couple months ago, that's when God started to give me ideas of what that looks like. And also that's when you all started to come too. Because for years, what, 2018, like it was, I went live a number of times, not a great number of times, but it's like it was just me on there. It was always said zero. And then when several months back, when I decided to go live, I was speaking about, personal goals and stuff like that, routine, as I always do. Um like the numbers just started coming in. I was just blew away, but a lot of it was negativity, evil, wickedness, and I'm thinking to myself, that's nothing, I'll just block him. And he was like, no, what are you blocking them for? He like, for all you know, they might need that message and they don't even know it. You don't even know it. When they're doing that, clearly they're broken. Clearly they're hurting. He like, don't block them, just don't entertain it. But they're gonna have to answer to me, whether right before you or they have to answer for it later. So that's why a lot of times I just ignore it. You feel me? And that's what the enemy does. Like I'm not gonna lie. I'm a be honest. If he did not tell me that, I'll be blocking left and right too, for one, and two, they would have been broke me down from the very beginning. I wouldn't have made it this far. This this many months in, like as many lives that he lead me to do would have been broke me down. But he gave me what I needed in that moment. So it's like now you can say whatever you want to say. I see it. I just don't acknowledge it. What for? I'm not going to give you the energy. Sometimes I do speak to it, especially if I'm like really feeling it in my spirit, where like I really want um to to be a vessel to where I'm helping someone that God is trying to reach. It's like I would ask, like, just you just like what I did last night. Like you just never know who's thinking about committing suicide, and you coming in here with this type of stuff. And then I've took it a step further before, maybe about a month ago. Like, what if it was your sister? What if it was your mom or someone who means a great deal to you, and they're going through it, and I come on there talking all this stuff that you're bringing here, and it pushed them over the edge to where it's like, that's it, that's enough. Like, how would you feel? So it's the same way. It could be someone here who would like really need help, and you come in here trying to be cute, trying to be fly and all that. Like people are really hurting and going through it. Like, let's keep that down a little bit. I'm not telling you to leave. You can stay. You don't even have to apologize. I don't care about that. You know what I mean? Like just be considerate of somebody else. So that's the spirit, it get agitated quickly. But we know love rules all. You know what I mean? So, and even in those moments, and us continue to have these conversations, we're not acting like, we're not attacking back. We're not acting like the world. We're not entertaining it. So a lot of times they just fall back. Some may leave, some may stay, but that's the perfect opportunity, because of we're still showing and giving and dwelling in the love of God. They can see something different here. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he have a way of convicting us, right? But then too, that's also the opportunity to like, maybe this Jesus person is real. Like maybe his love is because we're not biting back. You know what I mean? Like, and they can like truly have an opportunity to experience the love of God, experience His presence, and perhaps even like convert in this moment. So yeah, I definitely love it. But yeah, any way I can help, even if it's just being an ear, my brother. I got you, bro. I got you for real. So yeah. Oh really? So yeah, it's been a long journey. It has not been easy, but man, I'm gonna be honest with you. It been fair. It been fair. Like when you're going through it, it's hard to have that perspective and be okay with it. But when you look back where He saved and delivered you from, everything that you've been through, where you was able to have the honor to experience Him personally, and then get to a point where you look back and you understanding based on the word, and like it was all necessary because of who I've become now. It's not over with yet though. We got to go deeper, so I have to go through much more. Whatever that looks like and whatever that's going to be, it's like, you know what? It's been fair. You feel me? It's been fair. No matter how, uncomfortable life be to us, it's fair. Especially when we allow Him to do whatever it is He's doing. Because we have to know that it's not happening just to be happening. He's working something out. Something is like He's preparing us for something great. And it's a plan that He already had. So we just have to trust it. But again, not everybody know that. And I get why not everybody know that, because when you're not taking the initiative to get closer to Him, we're depending on pastor and whoever give us a word, and they only giving one side of it. Then yeah, like it's easy to walk away because based on what we thought from what we heard. You know what I'm saying? Like it's so yeah, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. I have no idea what we truly missing out on. For real. Okay. What time is it? Okay. And we were just speaking about his love. That's love. That's love. So yeah, you have a work to do, my brother. You feel me? The good thing about it is though, um, that you know him. Yeah, tell me. I can tell. I know. You know him. And because you know him, it's easier to trust him. So though you may not be you may not know where your life headed, like none of us know. Like sure he gives us visions and dreams and everything like that based on the future, what that future life based on his plans and everything, but like we all don't know. So it makes sense when it said walk by faith, not by sight. And that without faith is it's impossible to please him. So the good thing about you knowing him, you can place your faith in him, like your trust in him, knowing that wherever you're headed, I know I'm not going to be alone because you've always been with me and you promised to always be with me. And two, no matter what you have to go through the process, we know how it all ends. And the fact that he created you for a purpose and he's telling you now ain't the time, not until you fulfill, like it's a great thing that he have in mind for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, and yeah, I mean, we know suffering comes with it, whatever that looks like for each and every one of us. Persecution as well, because of his namesake. But if we're getting that, if we're going through that, then I would say it when only if we are walking with him, we know that not only we are in good hands, that we are heading down the right path that he wants us to go down. So with that, it's easy to consider pure joy. You feel me? Look at the Apostle Paul. He asked him to take that thorn from his side. What did he say, like 3 times? And he wouldn't do it. So when you said suffering, I don't know what your suffering is, but it made me think about the Apostle Paul. I'm not saying that he would never take it away, but it's I don't want to say find joy in suffering because there's no joy in that. It's what it's like taking joy in what you know that he perhaps is doing and is much bigger than what the current is, but it's requiring the current because he know what the big is on the other side of it. My brother said I get happy for real, man, like a kid. I'm telling you, like a kid. Yep. Man, trying to tell you for real. Yep. I don't know if you was present when I said this the other day, but Like my motivation has always been to be a better provider for my family, to create a better lifestyle for them. You know what I'm saying? And I've said that for years. It wasn't until earlier this year he was like, nothing is wrong with that. You are supposed to be a provider, but he seek you first the kingdom of God and his righteousness. You know what I'm saying? Like, so with that, which of course I've always knew that scripture, and like, but he reminded me of that scripture. Like, I need you to focus on this. I need you to focus on that. I need you to focus on me. I'm not opposed to it, but it's me first. It's my will first. It's my purpose first. You know what I'm saying? And at its appointed time, then, you know what I mean? So it's like that was it's like that last time where um he had to have that conversation with me, because like I said, where I knew that, but like it was that it was him saying that where it's like, okay, got it. So it's like now, um um with him telling me that, it has really helped me with like with the things that he revealed to me, like whether it's the visions and the things that he have that's starting to come out. It's like, remember, seek ye first the kingdom of God. Like, it may not be the best, but and I was just telling this guy that I was just at work with, and it's like once we make it about him, then he makes sure that the family will be good. And the process of him doing whatever it is he need to do inside of us and with us, and when the for us begin to come, where he start the fruits and everything, then like it will come, but in a process where it may not be as what we wish for in that moment, but he sustains us, and he just makes sure that the family is good in the process. But I need your focus. Seek ye first, and they'll be good, but I need you here. You know what I mean? So yeah, yep, yep. But even still, we can be like, man, that's messed up or whatever. I've been doing this long and that long. Again, that's his love, because he don't want to lose us. He care more about us and his purpose. He care more about his purpose, obviously, but he care more for us than you know us being well off and losing us. So he's fair. He's just, as the word says. But again, when it's all about us, we 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 can't make no understanding of that. We can't. We don't care. Like, it's about me and my family. Like, yeah, nothing is wrong with it. Like, yeah, be a provider. Yeah, provide whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, nothing is wrong with that at all. And we can take that argument to him and be like, I just want to provide for my family and yada yada yada. I'm supposed to be a provider. That's true. But Matthew 6, what, 33? So yeah, he's fair. He's fair for sure. And a lot of times we have to go through it to grasp that spiritual understanding. And when we do grasp spiritual understanding from him, then it's like it helps us stand firm and just and be rooted. Yes, for sure. Father, we just want to thank you. Um, I can go down a list. My brother can go down a list. Your love is unexplainable, indescribable. But yet, when we can't understand it, can't comprehend it, it's almost like you say, I'll show you. It requires us to draw near to experience you on a deeper level. But even before then, you demonstrate it, you show it, you give it freely. Thank you for delivering us from the kingdom of darkness. I know I embraced it, I loved it. But because of your love, you always know what's best for us. So no matter what we going through, help us be okay with where we are. Though things may not be pleasant and seem beneficial, like why do we have to go through it? Always help us to remember that not only is for our good, it's because of your love that we're going through it. It's because of your will and your plan that we have to go through it. And because of your love that we are going to be okay. So we just want to thank you and just lift you up. Help us to always stay planted, stand firm, because you need us to be positioned and place always so we can experience you, even if it's you using us or whatever. You need us right where you need us to be. Give us the peace for confirmation to know this is your will, this is where you need us. So if I would have to ask that, if I would have to ask anything, I would have to ask that, because I know that's pleasing to you, because I'm not going to act outside of what you want me to or don't want to. So thank you for all that you've done. Thank you for the things that you have put in place, like the Holy Spirit interceding on our behalf when we don't know what to pray, sending your son to walk through everything that we experience here today still, where he can intercede on our behalf because he know what it feels like. And you being rich in mercy, and that the fact that you still accepts us. You show us this love in your word. You teach us this love. Lord, please show us how to always give this love, no matter what the emotions are telling us to do, because it's all about love in action, not emotions. So again, thank you for sending people into our lives that helps us remember where you brought us from, see where we are, that you have always been with us, so we will always know that we're never alone, that you give us each other, brothers and sisters, in you. because you know that the struggle be real. So you give us each other. And may you always remain in the center of it. Again, that's your love because you know it's hard to go through it alone. But you have already orchestrated from the beginning who you will send, the time of need that we may be in, the perfect love, the unfailing love. Thank you for being love and open up the opportunity for us to experience you, who who is love. Thank you, Father. In Jesus' name, amen. It's always an honor, my brother. You feel me? It's always an honor. It's always an honor. It's always an honor. I thank you since from the first day, for sure. Embrace it all. If I would leave you with encouragement or anyone, no, I'm gonna say you specifically because we're having this conversation, is to embrace it all to the fullest, especially that which is uncomfortable. Embrace it all. For anyone else, I would encourage whatever season that you may be in, you are not alone. Change where you are looking. Change where you are looking. Because wherever you're looking, when you're going through it, that's probably where your hope is. That's probably where you're placing your faith in. It's not sustainable. It's only in Christ. So change where you looking and who you looking to him. And wherever you are, whatever you're dealing with, just allow him access and then trust him every step of the way. Just keep trusting. Just keep walking. Just keep walking. There are things you're not going to understand, and that's okay. If it's meant for you to understand, he will reveal it. But trust him and continue to walk. And wherever he's taking you, you will arrive. Just embrace it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Yep. It's time. It's time. It is definitely time. Thank you. Likewise to you. Likewise to you. Likewise to you for sure. Gonna hop off here and go in here and wake the wife up, and man, it's been a great honor for sure. And for each and every one of you, all of us, we here for a reason. It's not a reason that we give ourselves. Yes, we have responsibilities as husbands, as parents, so on and so forth, but we have a responsibility assigned to us. from God, by God, and for God. Right now is the time. I can't tell you what you're here for, what you're supposed to be doing, but go to the one who created you and just begin to walk with him. Allow him, allow you to follow the path that he's taking you down. And you'll be good, I promise you. Yep, yep. I love it. That's why I be having to like try to make sure I'm led in doing these lives because man, I don't want to ruin what what his purpose is for these lives chasing my own. Um because it's like you all are select a few of you all are I feel like you all are like my extended family, like for real, you know what I mean? And I be loving the fellowship for real. So um to many more, to many more. But in the meantime, just keep going. Just keep walking. Allow him to guide you. He got you. That's for all of us. All right? Man, that's what's up. That's what's up. That is what's up. Um, no, yeah, of course, of course. Hey, do me a favor if you okay with it. Um, I'm gonna put the links in the description of this live. Um, any one of them, go go subscribe to it by putting your information in there, and then I'm gonna shoot you my email. So if ever anything, then you'll be able to reach me personally if you are comfortable with it, if you led to do it, whatever. Um, but but yeah, that way we don't have to wait till we hear. So yeah, that's what it is. But yeah, that's what I got, man. I love you, my brother, for sure. And man, let's keep it up. Let's keep it up. Let's keep walking. Let's keep faithing. Let's just see where he's gonna lead us. You know what I mean? For sure. Yep. But yeah, I'm gonna get at you and everyone here. Share with seven. If you don't know of seven who you can share it with, then share with someone. And man, just like I say, just keep going. You got this. All right. Much love. Peace.